They've been playing really well today. I hope that this is the time they play their best, because this, in my opinion, is going to be the stiffest competition they come up against all day.
Yeah, they haven't played Quake Orbs, if I'm not mistaken, so that's going to be a tougher match.
The thing is, Ice Climbers, their resume is starting to speak for itself. Yes, it hasn't been as, I guess, of an easy path as we expected, but they are here in the bracket regardless. They are the favorites to be minimum top 4, and, you know, of course, it's Ron and Toxic. How can you not count these guys out? 2v2 is based around, you know, combat is one of the core elements of this game mode, and these are two of the absolute best fraggers in the business. If you look at any highlight reels, go on YouTube and search Quake Champions highlight compilation, there's a good chance that 5 of the 6 videos you might find instantly will be Toxic related. Like, this guy is a walking, talking highlight reel.
And not only are they playing to qualify into tomorrow, they're playing to prove Death wrong about this. What is this, North America versus North America final? Like, I'm North American, but son, I know the true region. It's Europe.
You're a traitor, and North America will hate you forever.
I'm always a traitor in your eyes because of the Revolutionary War.
Good point.
Forgot about that.
But we have map number 1 underway. Cyberfight and Ice Climbers. Obviously, Base, we're going to be checking him out first before he's swiftly destroyed by Toxic. Toxic getting a rail straight away. I think that's actually a really good spawn for Toxic, giving him kind of like his star weapon almost immediately. It's no wonder he got first blood.
And when we talked, or actually when we more importantly listened to their comms for Zoran and Tox, Zoran mentioned, you know, I'm missing. He wasn't hitting rails that he expected himself to hit. Tox has been struggling with rail a little bit too, and that's kind of worrisome for them as a team at the moment. But we're going to see how that's going to work out when it comes to this match in particular. I think if they start hitting rails, any team out there is going to have a lot to look out for.
It's ever so prominent with Toxic that when he's on, no one in the world can beat him. But when he has a bad game, it can be quite unexpected. You know, you can have a hard time against maybe some players that you feel, this is more duel related, I know, but players that you always feel like, oh, that was a good time to change. Maybe he shouldn't be losing to, but when he's on fire, he beats anyone in the world.
It's funny, it's like, so when he's on fire, he beats anyone in the world. When he's playing bad, he still beats most people in the world. That's the funny thing about Tox.
It's a testament to how dangerous Toxic is and can be. But in LAN, you know, this is where you have to bring your A game. And Tox, I mean, Dreamhack Winter, right? Grand Finals against Tahang, that was an exceptional tournament for him.
Yeah, he's had actually a rough run in Duel this year in particular. The Beat Invitational, he got knocked out in groups even after playing a ton of matches, and he actually was the only person to play BJ over the course of that entire tournament. But bringing it back to the game here, 6-4 in favor of Cyberfight, Base and Agent. Good timing on those kills, but then again, that can come back to haunt them because now Agent's, you know, already low on HP. Quad's going to spawn in about 15 seconds. He'll have the chance to respawn back in and fight, but almost every player sitting over towards Heavy, so they need to kind of quickly get over to Quad because this is going to be a massive power-up.
And as the change is coming through, actually going to try and change to Ron because he's going to be a lot more close to this power-up. Actually looks like Cyberfight are out in force. Who's going to win this exchange? And it is going to be Cyberfight with that first power-up of the series.
Base has got the weaponry to make this work. He's got full LG ammo. He's got rails. He's got now Mega behind this. Toxic getting caught out in a rough spot. Base being slow about this, though. Yeah. Wow.
It's Zron was going in. He obviously would have coordinated that he's taken a rail, but I'm not sure that's going to be enough even for Toxic standards. Can't survive in the little turnaround rail. Dealing with that 2 versus 1 easily because of the quad damage bonus. Taken out, but I think it's a bit too late really for that to be significant.
Yeah, Tox is going to get it, but it's already gone now. So 12-7, a strong start for Cyberfight. Base definitely showing up, currently leading his team at 7 kills and 4 deaths. Tox going to catch up Base on the jump pad, but Mega Health's going to give Base the HP he needs to fight that one out.
It's actually a really good take on that Mega. I know like these little bits of optimization where sometimes someone might try and get like an initial jump towards Mega or something like that, but at this high level of play, you know, you have to run in a straight line. Yeah, you'll take damage, but you're not going to get caught by LG and pushed away, and that would have been a guaranteed death.
You know, I wonder, Ketchup, because we like you literally brought up the point about Base, you know, he's had rough run-ins in tournaments. And people have kind of wondered, you know, why that is necessarily, the skill discrepancy between online and in LAN. But do you think in his mind he's thinking about, well, if we beat Ice Climbers here, I'm going to shut up everyone?
I mean, this will be the series that proves basically all the haters wrong.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying Base has a million haters, I'm just saying that there are people that I think doubt his ability in LAN, and he's already in a great position to prove these guys wrong, and winning this series is undisputable that he is the real deal on LAN.
Here goes Ron, does chime in, picking up a kill. Only a 4 kill difference between the two. We're going to see protection up in about 15 seconds. Toxic low on HP, but he gets Mega at the same time as railing Base. So that positional advantage. However, Toxic already low on health, low-ish, as he gets healed back to full. And where is Cyberfight? Well, they're coming through the teleporter, and that's going to be Base already dropped, and now Agent's by himself, and he's going to have to immediately back away. There's no way he's going to be able to take this away from them.
Yeah, it's kind of actually funny, really. I feel like Agent kind of just sort of sat there, and when Base ran in, tried to take it by himself, got immediately destroyed, and then Agent was kind of still hanging around. It was only a matter of time, really, before they ran in and dealt the damage to him too. That said, there is only a 2-frag deficit.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, I never expected it to be a 2-frag deficit for either team. I was expecting a very one-sided match from Ice Climbers just based off of past results that we've seen online, and yet Cyberfight is putting up a fantastic fight here against them. Zeron protection will eventually wear off. Just have 2 totems down. Toxic picks up a nice frag onto Agent towards LG. And Tox is still lacking rail. And actually, it almost seems as if there's not a lot of emphasis out of Ice Climbers on that weapon.
I think when we saw Cyberfight fight earlier on, and they looked really strong, it's because I think they were aware of weapons that players they go against like really kind of specialize in. They're going to know that against Ice Climbers, they want to deny that rail, especially on Blood Covenant. I mean, we've seen the magic that Toxic can create. With the railgun on this map in particular, I mean, in Duel, in Sacrifice, he rarely misses. And if that's his star weapon, keep it away from him. Don't give them that ace in the hole.
Well, again, Agent respawning back in, does have rockets, doing a quick 80. So I think that's going to be Tox over there. No, it's actually Zeron.
I'm actually going to go have a look at Base, because it's been a while since we had a look at him, but he has been a real star performer on Cyberfight so far. We'll see if he can keep things up.
He's got that piercing sight available too. Make that call out to Agent. Might be able to catch out Tox here on the jump pad. That's actually a decent juggle, and Drawn goes back up again.
I actually think that Base was showing Zeron like the utmost respect in that exchange there, where like, you know, normally you kind of see an LG on a jump pad and it can be almost a free frag, but he didn't want to challenge the accuracy of Zeron's LG, so he still had to actually take a momentarily, you know, take a step back and make sure that he wasn't going to get fragged in the meantime.
Tox either, okay, it's too late to die now because now he's going to leave Zeron by himself. Zeron can no way challenge this unless he somehow picks up a plethora of damage. He's backed away completely. This is going to be a quad yet again in the hands of Base. He's going to look to push through. He's looking for that first frag. He does get Toxic, but he's so low on life. Is there even a totem to heal him up with? Well, there's not. There's just, at least there's health bubbles in mid, and that will allow him to pick that up with a heavy. But this is more of a controlling quad, because I'm trying to categorize them, because this isn't giving the ability to be aggressive because he needs to heal up, but it gives them control of heavy. They had Mega, and they're able to get the timings of these major pickups.
I really liked that how Base was running around to get a little bit restacked so he could maximize this quad, of which he has been able to do. Agent kind of ran out there just for the main purpose of just gathering information to feed back to Base. So when he was stacked and ready to fight, Agent knew exactly where they were, and then he could just give that to Base to then finish the job and get those quads. A really nice rail, unfortunately, a little bit too much health for them to get killed there, but yeah, good shot nonetheless.
And an unfortunate time to die, considering they did, well, at least Base in particular with the quad, sit at heavy. They wanted to make sure to secure that. I don't believe they picked it up. Agent might have. I might have just actually missed that. I had a lapse in brain function, but either way, like once you, like, the thing is, you need to get that control against them, and once you're picking up Mega and picking up heavy, as Depp did mention earlier with Zoot, you know, that momentum, that little kind of flow you make from heavy to Mega, if it's timed perfectly, it gives you a lot of control and a lot of extra stats to fight with.
Now we can have a look over to Toxic. Only 2 more rails, but we might see a crazy shot. Yep. Nope, opting to back off. I mean, I completely understand that decision. If they're going to be behind, safety really is that #1 priority.
Well, we have about 25 seconds to go here on protection. And luckily for us, we do have the ability to get back into Ice Climbers comms, and here Tox, and here's Zeron, and how this pickup's going to go.
Galena railed. Taking heavy and rocket jumping.
Yeah. Need help.
Coming. Fuck, I got fucked. I'm dead. Let's not feed frogs. No. He's on the platform, he killed me. LG one. Nice. $56 Mega.
Rocket still. I'm stuck at bridge.
He was ready for me, he's on rail. Heavy now, machine gun. Bridge dead. I'll take bridge position.
Both shaft.
Taking heavy. Next 25.
I feel like there's so much confidence coming from how Cyberfight are approaching this map. They're not really being deterred, even if they know or feel like they're not the favorites to win this series because of just how much everyone's talking about Ice Climbers. They're still sticking true to how they want to approach this map.
I did like the call Zrod made there too. About, all right, they have protection, let's not feed kills, right? And they kind of realize, I think a lot of teams actually have been unable to do this or recognize this own flaw in their play of realizing there's no need to throw bodies at a quad or throw bodies at a protection unless you know you have the advantage. Because you can really control and limit the amount of work the enemy team can do. And when we saw Ice Climbers initially playing against Quaker Orbs, both teams are really good at disengaging whenever they did not have the power-up.
And that's going to be so key in 2v2, because we've said this all weekend, and it's never going to not be prominent, which is when you don't get the power-up, you kind of need to understand that, unless there's specific circumstances, you're going to give up frags. The objective is going to be to minimize how much they gain from it.
So 33-31, really close games. We're hitting the 10-minute mark. Zoran talks our opponent ever so close. As Quad's going to spawn in 1 second. Going to be a big play here, and it looks like it's going to be 100% finally going over to the side of Ice Climbers Tox. He's going to have the quad. Now, what can he do with it? We know he's an explosive player. We know he's extremely fast around a map, but can he find the kills? You can see Cyberfight's actually spread out, so they actually can limit the amount of work he can do, but Tox, he's like a shark in the ocean. He smells a drop of blood, and he's going after it.
That was actually really well played by Agent and Tox actually collectively, where Agent, his whole thing there was to try and juke. And if Toxic were to stay there and try and frag Agent, it would have been a back and forth. It would have wasted time. So instead of Toxic even bothering with Agent, he was actually going to go help Stron first. And then when he gets the frag, turn around and finish the job.
Let's get close to their piercing sight. Finally, Ice Climbers have been able to take a lead in this series. 36-34. Heavy coming up at about 12, and maybe Tox wants to position himself around that. Cyberfight, they're still fighting. Like, they're honestly doing a fantastic job. And it's nice to see out of them.
Going to stay on Toxic until he either loses his life or his stack. I think he's got a really good position here. Get some work done. But yeah, fantastic shot from Agent. It is returned though, and that charged rail, you know he's looking for that base for the turnaround, but Zron back in there with support. A comfortable lead now, 4 frags, and still climbing.
Still ice climbing.
I didn't want to say it.
I did.
I didn't want to say it.
I don't, yeah.
You don't fear
I have
anyone.
no respect for myself, that's why.
Fair enough.
95 health for Zron, obviously railable now. But they're continuing to grow this lead, 5 frags now. Heavy going to be picked up, it looks like, for Agent, I'm guessing.
And I think this is actually why they didn't want Ice Climbers to have rail, because the second they both had rail and they were controlling the heavy location, I mean, there was so much dominance there. Agent completely surprised, no time to react, but he does collect the mega health, which is going to allow him to survive temporarily. Is Base going to win this 1v1? This is a really funny angle, and Toxic has been known to hit these crazy shots from this angle.
The protection's up in 8. Agent gets a kill on his Zron. Once he gets the respawn, but where is he on the map? Is he going to be able to get back in time? They have actually both respawned pillars and towards Mega. Both going to be going towards pillars. 1 second. I think protection could be picked up for sure. For Cyberfight, it's going to be in the hands of Agent, but Agent goes down. Tox gets a double kill, and now it's going to be Tox with the protection himself. Not to mention at 43 frags, 7 to go for them to pick up the first map in the series. And to put themselves 1 map closer to getting through towards day 3. Look at these beautiful rocket jumps and the timing of the piercing sight. That's going to be Base falling. Well done here so far by Ice Climbers.
Definitely, and not shy of that rocket jump whatsoever. Didn't even need the sick mid-air rail because Ron already had it covered. And this is such a testament to, you make 1 mistake, you give Ice Climbers 1 opening, they're going to run away with the entire map. This was close the whole time. They were losing for 75% of this map, and just like that, they've turned it around, and this is looking to be very close indeed for them to win.
That's the danger of Ice Climbers, and these 2 players in particular is they have the potential to take the game completely out of your hands and run away with it if you just let up for 1 second. And that's what they've been able to do. I mean, they're up 11 frags. We have, 2 minutes left in the map, and I don't see Tox and Zron, dropping another 13 frags before they get a 3 themselves.
It's just a key. I think one of the key factors here is always going to be making sure they've got the right equipment for the job. Tox spent a lot of this map actually without rail. Just straight up, stand alone. We're going to observe Agent a little bit to see if Cyberfight can get anything happening. Actually, we're going to switch over to Base because he is the one that generally gets in the action, of which he just got a really impressive rocket. Unfortunately, incredibly weak.
Yeah, and he can't really afford to die either because that's Ice Climbers at 2 with quad up in 38 seconds.
That's a good thing he went back through that teleporter.
Yeah, they need every life left that they possibly can. They really have to work together, and this should be him falling. That's Ron putting them at 48. Quad in 28 seconds. I don't know if we're even going to make it to that. Agent's already extremely low. Agent should ideally fall for this position. He's kind of locked in, and not to mention you can see Tox behind them. Zron is putting down so much damage. He's making it almost impossible for Cyberfight to even heal up before this power-up spawns in.
Now, we kind of talk about the potential of the comeback. If they get quad, maybe. This is actually still possible if Ice Climbers secure quad. They're going to win. If Cyberfight get quad, I don't know, they need to have the spree of their lives. There's 1 minute left.
Agent has 7 health, and Tox is just spamming nails. He can't even pick up quad.
He can't get near it. Look at his health.
Yeah, they realize they're going to lose the map if he does. It's going to have to be base to do it. He only has 46 HP. They're both extremely low. Where's the totem coming down? Well, you should have given that orb over to... You should have maybe given that orb over to Agent, because maybe that totem would have come up, and you both could have healed for 50 HP. But either way, Ketchup, that was a hell of a fight at Cyberfight. I did not expect it to be that close.
Yeah, me neither. But they were winning for the vast majority of that map.
Yeah.
They were winning for like 80% of that first map. It's just kind of crazy how right at the end, I actually quite like that last-minute decision where they weren't really afraid of the quad. They made sure... They knew there's a reason Agent isn't going to take this quad.
Yeah.
He's not stepping into it. He's not going to risk a single nail. They would have done the maths. They would have known he was too weak to step onto it. And if they know that Agent is that weak, instead of running away from quad, let's just stay put, get a lot more spam on the deck. The second he gets hit by one small thing at 7 HP, just breathe on him and he's going to get taken out. And we even saw that, we didn't even see the final frag because he was just there and just ate like, the far end of like a rocket. And that was all they needed to win.
Yeah, the splash damage completely finishing him off there. Next map, I'm curious, maybe Blood Run, obviously a very CIS heavy map, and we know that Cyberfight can do really well at it, even though they did lose to Corvidae earlier on. But they kind of have to take a second to think, what do they need to do differently? And I think they played solid, but it wasn't enough. There was a point when it started to slip away. They got, I think, the majority of power-ups in the end of that map, but within, let's say, the first 4, I think they got 3 of them.
It's kind of crazy scenario, I think, against Ice Climbers in particular, where I think Cyberfight kind of just played really, really strong, really solid for the majority of the map, and then the second one thing went skew with, and the momentum kind of just shifted.
Yeah.
That balance of power went into the favor of Ice Climbers. It was pretty much their map from start to finish, just complete control. They were winning every single fight. They were taking the majority of the power-ups by the end. If they did lose a power-up, they would take it back very, very quickly. It's kind of, I think in 2v2, you need to have that kind of synergy with your team. Is if things are going wrong, just take each death as it comes. Don't see every death as massively costly. Don't let it affect you by any means. We know both of these players, actually, Zron and Toxic, they're super level-headed. You won't really see much in the middle of the match, especially someone like Toxic, not much emotion, because it's all put into the game. That's where all their efforts go, and for good reason. You can't let anything get to you. But Blood Run is going to be our second map. We're into the warm-up right now. This could be our final map of this series, and Ice Climbers are 1 map away from moving on into tomorrow's games, which will surprise no one. But Cyberfight putting up a fight.
True, very true. And I just want to go back to one point really quickly before we fully get underway with this map. Is we've been saying over the course of today and yesterday that Zron and Tox are some of the best players at getting out maximum damage in every situation. And we can never really understate that, because
oh my,
it forces the team that you're attacking to play a different way. Like, for instance, if you have full stack, you're willing to be a lot more aggressive, right? If you're constantly being chipped away at and you're about half-life or less constantly, then you have to play a more defensive style. So it's very, very difficult and very limiting to what you can potentially do from. And I think that's one reason why Zron and Tox are just such a dominating force.
Now, to look at the champion lineups, the interesting thing for me, actually, is that obviously we've gone with the same lineups. We know that Agent's going Galena, Base is Visor. But look at this. Toxic is now the one going Galena. And they've got the same lineup, but they've swapped it. They've reversed the roles.
And I guess that's the power of the team. Just like Rafa and Deheng, they can both play pretty much every champion. They have a nice overlap between pools between the two players. Maybe if Zron's feeling like he's hitting shots and he's feeling more confident, then maybe give him the visor so he can be more aggressive and do more damage. And I like to be able to see these switch-ups and to see the willingness to do it just for the better of the team. I
mean, the mark of a champion is versatility at the end of the day, but Base, must have actually going to check the frags, getting some spam on the deck. Yeah, 1 frag each. Toxic with the 2 for Ice Climbers so far.
God, Base. Do you see the way he was like pretty much a sprinkler? He was just going left to right slowly with the nail gun. He catches Tox with 3 nails and then hits him with the rail for the finisher. Actually, really nicely done.
They're going to fight towards that Mega. Be rewarded with it for now, and I think the rail. If you collect Mega and then land a rail immediately, the divide between health is so significant. Very satisfying. And that's going to be more data for Toxic. The second the totem gets stood, I mean, it always goes back to there being, you have no choice, right? The second you know you have to try and make something happen, but suicide, interesting.
Yeah, I think he actually hit Base with a rocket. So he hit his teammate with a rocket, which explodes right away because it still hits the model and killed him.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, that's what feels bad, man.
Well, what feels even worse is the fact that Zron has quad damage and loads of stack, but ooh, big damage on the tri-bolt. Unfortunately, he's going to need a lot more than that. And I can see Toxic coming up behind. But no teleport was actually used. Well played for now, but unfortunately Base does go down eventually. Agent's going to look for it, taking a bunch of damage as he runs away though, so when Zron inevitably finds him, like that, he's dead.
Yeah, don't peek Base. You know you're not going to have the shot. And they're just baiting out the heavy. It's going to be up. And Mega's going to be up in 1 second time, so they can kind of transition from heavy straight to Mega, which I'm imagining Tox might do. No, it's going to be Zron. So, sorry, Tox will do. But Mega will be taken away from him, unfortunately.
Agent managed to score 1 frag. Actually going to move over to Agent and see how he can take this encounter here. As you see, Base is up top. But I think that's why we see the teleport location instead, because I think you have a significantly lower chance of being ambushed 2v1. You never want to get 2v1 in this game mode. Oh my god, yeah, he's dead. He's in so much trouble.
It's a double rail with LG. Focus fire is so important too, and that's kind of communication that Zron and Tox do have. Zron obviously seeing there's a person there towards Mega. Mega will be secured, so it's still going to be splitting the items. The protection's up at about 40 seconds, and I think that could allow Ice Climbers to build up a strong lead if Cyberfight can't contest it.
What I actually really enjoyed in that fight was that we saw Zron go for the couple of rails. Instead of looking for the final rail, he allowed Toxic to then actually spam and try and get that last hit required, knowing that he's weak enough, he was going to be dead for free.
That's unfortunate for Agent. Sometimes the hardest rails to hit are when people are not looking at you, because they're so much more unpredictable. When they see you, you can kind of predict how they react to seeing you in like the normal dodging patterns, but when they're not looking at you, you can't understand the information that they see that would cause them to react in a certain way.
Oh, Toxic temporarily cutting off the escape, but not before a Wayward Rocket takes out both the totem and does damage. Not a huge issue, so we're going to switch over to Zron, who now has protection. And to be honest with you, this is actually the lead, I think, which was more of the expected result. We've actually seen this from some of the other favoured teams in their matches where they have somewhat of a rocky map #1, and then when they kind of come online, they start doing what we know they're capable of. The score goes a lot more expected. This is definitely another one of those situations.
6 damage shotgun, that's unfortunate for Zron, who's definitely looking for the kill, but... Wow, oh my god, threaded the needle with that rail.
Going back to that very slow style, not giving anyone any news. Zron goes down. Of course, Toxic's going to know what's going on. Base just not even catching sight of him right there. They're going to pile in towards the heavy. It is actually going to force Cyberfight to somewhat split their attention. Completely sandwiched in here. Unfortunately, Base is not strong enough to take that fight whatsoever.
That was a meaty shot, 120 damage shotgun. Doesn't get much better than that. We're about 50 seconds away for quad, and again, I think if Ice Climbers pick this up, we could be looking at like a 30-8 kill score.
It's definitely possible. Particularly, I'm really eyeing up that quad. I think that Ice Climbers have had such a level of control over it so far.
Need to see Agent maybe get towards LG before the next actual spawn. That's a great bounce out of Agent.
Oh my god, somehow he survived! But he didn't at the last minute. But that's not even the one he was after. He was after Zron that entire time. Yeah. I'm actually going to look at how much... Yeah, Zron was very weak. This was expected. That was a crazy... I can't believe he survived that, to be honest.
All right, we're 20 seconds away. And guess what? We have another thing coming your way. It's going to be Ice Climbers tuning in with their comms as quad does spawn in.
One coming quad. I need a suicide. A bad spawn.
We're weak.
I got fucked. Visor got it. I got Mega next 38. He's dead. It's Galena on nailgun with it. Visor shotgun.
So I think Zron said I got wrecked again for the second time.
Yeah, these players love to say wrecked.
It's my favorite word.
Yeah, it's great. But even with the quad being taken for C58, they were only able to get 1 kill off of that. Great job by Zron to make sure to punish him trying to come down towards LG. A little rail at a base. That's the first one was, and that was a fantastic flick.
Oh. No matter what's happening here, I really like the fact that Base is kind of... It's not really affecting his aim at all. You know, sometimes when the pressure starts to add up, sometimes you can get a little bit more shaky, your movement starts to fumble a little bit, so does your aim and your accuracy. I just don't think Base has had that problem all tournament. Oh, straight up 2v1. 2 rockets, I mean, almost direct at the same time. See you later, Zron.
Again, that's what Cyberfight did really well against Corvidae earlier on. They're able to get those pincer moves and sometimes bait in the enemy team thinking they had a 2-on-1. But the man flanking from behind was always able to pick up those doubles, at least in those situations. 30 seconds on protection. And Ice Climbers are still continuing a lead of 9 frags at the moment. I feel like, I mean, Cyberfight hasn't got a single power-up, you know, and I really wonder what would happen if they were able to get control of this room a little bit better.
I really like the positioning from Zron right there, actually. Like taking the super likely area, they're going to try and go for towards power-up and just basically denying the entire thing. While Toxic obviously was staying up in this room. He's been around this part of the map for like the past 40 seconds or so. It is a 2v1 so far, but if Toxic can win this fight, it's going to be fantastic. Agent does manage to come off on top, though. So this should be a 1v1 so far.
But Agent's low. That's going to be the nail gun coming from the side. Protection has spawned in, and they have to back away. They have to run.
And let's have a switch up for Zron, currently with that protection in hand. Yeah, he's not going to follow the teleporter. A bit risky, but no, wait a minute, completely ambushed. Agent committed suicide. Oh dear. I mean, he almost killed him.
Try to Goomba stomp him, but just did not work out for him.
Come on, guys, only Scalebearer can do that.
Oh man, don't say the S word, or Zoot gets excited. He's already got 2 pins.
It's just to one-up you, I think.
He's feeding his addiction. Yeah, I think it is to one-up me.
Oh!
That's
dead.
Good totem there. But we're back to 11 lead now for Ice Climbers.
It's actually quite interesting that Zron pretty much spawned immediately back where he died, so he could just pick up the rail. He's now got tons of ammo for it. And the rail, being able to, having a fantastic rail on this map just gives you so much control, even in 2v2. You know, there's so many angles where you can take that, you know, teleport becomes a risk. This room right here, I know, you know, this isn't fighting for power-up of sorts, they're just in here while the fight's taking place.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You have so much, I think, control if you both have rail. It's risky to try and push in.
Oh, that was
my
good.
God.
Oh. I was going to say, that was a good fadeaway rocket out of him, and not to mention the double totem is fully healed. You can see the overcommitment realizing, oh, he's probably just 1 hit since I already did so much damage to him, and well, unfortunately for him, it was 2, but he still got the kill in the end, bringing it back to a 9 difference.
As you can see, base of the turnaround. God, as fast as I can switch, these frags are going by. It's one of those. It's turning into one of those maps, I think, where it's being traded back and forth over and over again. That's going to be more information. Totem destroying, being able to see those damage numbers. Agent now aware of where everyone's going to be. And of course, it's going to be the power-up room. Zron and Tox taking control of it for now, but Zron actually kind of weak, and because of it, Agent gets 1 rocket, and that's all he needs. The control has been completely tipped in Cyberfight's favor.
That's fine, though. I actually like that, because Tox backed away once he realized Zron was dead, thinking, all right, I can come back in when Zron respawns back in. He gets chased up, but still dies at a good time. Base is alone by himself against 2.
Oh my God,
Quad is spawning in. He's not, actually, he's going to be able to pick up Quad. He gets 1, but Tox gets the return count out. Behind Tox is going to be another man. It's going to be Agent, and he will fall. And Tox has been able to save the Quad for them another time. 8 frags in the lead. And he's going to be looking for more.
I think it goes to show that just dying near the power-up doesn't mean you're automatically going to not get it. It's how you spawn, it's where you spawn, and it's how you can capitalize with the equipment that you have. Toxic really is the sole reason he was able to collect that. And it was like half a second away from going skew-if, but it's really the clutch from these high-level players at this level of competition.
So let me ask you something, Ketchup. How's your Russian?
Really bad.
Well, let's take a second to maybe learn some Russian here as we join Cyberfight's comms.
Придешь туда?
Да, я сейчас свет дам.
Блин, ну ты ему ебаный.
Оба на гранату. Забрали красный. Забрали. Полмигаем.
Мега, Саша. Один
Мне
на
она не
бан,
помешала
а
бы.
второй на ракете.
Забрал. Тут через
Вайзер на рейле.
Через шотган на красном. Один вышел в ТП на рейле. За тобой преследует. На банк твою. 100 Галена, она отличилась.
I learned a little bit there, Ketchup.
I didn't.
I learned that Mega is Mega Health, and also really interesting that they call it shotgun instead of Drobovic, which I believe does mean shotgun in Russian.
Oh, I learn something new every day.
So actually use the English. I mean, it is quicker to say. It's all about, you know, quick, concise communication.
I know sometimes like, you kind of some of the English words I think are seen as like almost like universal words depending on I think what part of the game it's from, I suppose. But
Yeah, like wrecked.
yeah, to be honest with you, yeah, that's definitely the word you're talking about. But looking at the clock, Ice Climbers happily in the lead, and with a few more minutes left to go. They have been known to play to the clock before. This definitely could be another one of those situations. So they can maintain this steady lead. Zron with a double kill. I mean, that's going to do it. Especially seeing as the power-ups just spawn. Protection, not the weakest in the world. There's plenty of health around. And he can start being brave. He's going to be pushing in. We can see them trying to run away, but I think they're Toxic. That's the angle right there with the rail. That's exactly why he's sitting down there. He knows that Cyberfight have to run towards Mega, and he's ready for those rail angles. And now here comes that pincer again.
Jeez, he's taken so much damage. He's been able to survive for such a long time. Look at this is the frag difference that we were kind of expecting coming into the entirety of the series, but Ice Climber's starting to warm up a little bit more, it seems, or maybe get the read into Cyber Fight much better. 41 to 29. That's quickly turned into 43.
And at this stage, those trades are not what you want. Ice Climbers only need 7 more frags, and with Cyber Fight being so far down, you know, they won one trade 7 times. 6 times now, Ice Climbers win. And that's going to be the end of the second map. And it's just adding up time after time. We're just going to stay on Toxic. He's got 10 more rails. That could be 5 more superb shots, potentially.
Oof. He's done so much damage. Even gets the kill.
The trade.
Low.
I mean, a trade is going to be 100% for them. They'll be happy to take those.
Yeah, I don't see how Cyber Fight can come back into this. Quad's too far away. Base gets a nice kill on Toxic, so
oh my,
a little bit longer. But Agent's gone down, Heavy's up, and it will be taken by Zron. I think this is pretty much it. There's no way we're getting Quad. There's no way.